This is Michelle again with a new video in the series of videos to use as a quick guide to using VAIF. In the previous video, you saw how to create a timeline. The example seen from that video and from future videos is going to be available to you in the VAIF package you download. We're going to continue by adding a conversation to our timeline. You're going to be able to have multiple conversations in your timeline. You must create a conversation in order to add events to be played in your timeline. So how do you add a conversation? First, you'll click on Timeline. You will open up an inspector window that we added our components to before. The first component will be your conversation IM script. You'll see here whatever conversations you add. So say I'm going to add a new conversation. All I have to do is choose the type, which for now is only conversation, and click Add Conversation. You'll see that when I added the conversation, you'll see a reference to it in this list of conversations. And if you click in the field, you get a reference direction to the conversation I just created. Now that you've created a conversation, you can add events to it. It is important to know that if I add multiple conversations, say I'm going to add another one, I can see it accumulate in my list. If I decide at a later time to delete one of these references of conversations, say I delete the entire game object, and click again in my timeline, you'll see that my reference to this conversation is missing. Now if I decide to run my project or scene, you'll find an error to arise. So all you have to do to fix that is either drag another reference to a different conversation. So say you have more numbers of conversations than you have in your list. So say I have 4 and I only have a list size of 3. I can alter that directly in my editor. And then I choose here which one I want to be first. So say I want the last one to be first. And then I want to play the first one. All you have to do is drag and drop from the reference in the timeline hierarchy to the field list in the conversation component.